What are the biggest challenges that you encountered?
Hospitality appealed to me as it is one of the few industries where businesses meet emotion. What makes Ramoji Film City unique is its ability to seamlessly blend filmmaking with tourism. It's not just a destination, it's an immersive world.
What advice, for example, would you give to women entrepreneurs?
The journey has been both challenging and rewarding.
India's boardrooms don't see much of women directors, women entrepreneurs.
My journey has been deeply rooted in the values of discipline, vision, and long-term thinking.
Welcome to Conversations on Hybiz TV. I'm Suresh Kocharal. Usually, when I speak to eminent personalities, they are from one genre of business, or maybe a clutch of them. But today I have with me a lady who's traversed that path back and forth across different sectors within the same group. I'm talking about Vijayeswari Cherukuri, Managing Director of the iconic Ramoji Film City. She has traversed industries, as I told you. She has handled a hotel sector that is there in the city of Visakhapatnam, the Dolphin Hotels that she oversees. And of course, as I told you earlier, the Ramoji Film City, which is a world in itself. Many of you would have visited this place and seen it in its entirety. But there is a lot of hard work and vision that went into creating what is truly an iconic destination. Welcome, ma'am. Namaste.
Namaste and welcome to Ramoji Film City. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
gracing.
Thank you very much. So basically, when we all start the conversation, we have this fact that there is this remarkable journey that we speak about often, about how you got into two sectors. One is, of course, hospitality and one is tourism, technically speaking. But can you take us through where it all began? How did all this begin, actually?
My journey has been deeply rooted in the values of discipline, vision, and long-term thinking. From an early stage, I was exposed to business, which helped me understand how large ecosystems function. Over time, I was naturally drawn towards building experiences and institutions. A significant influence has been my father-in-law, Sri Ramoji Rao Garu, founder of Ramoji Group, whose vision and commitment to excellence shaped my approach to leadership. Another important influence has been my husband, Suman, and my supportive family.
In fact, Ramoji Rao was a colossus of his time. I mean, there's not an industry that he didn't touch or not a person whom he didn't kind of interact with. Everybody who's met him has a great word about him.
Yeah.
And working under his tutelage would have been a great learning experience for you.
Yes.
I'm sure that his spirit still walks around this entire property now.
He lives here.
He is here. Exactly. So when we talk about entering the hospitality industry, I come from that industry initially. It's a very demanding sector.
Yes.
There is nothing called we will take a holiday today and we'll come back tomorrow. This works 24/7, 365 days a year. Now, this is a highly dynamic industry that we're talking about. But remarkably, your father-in-law, yes, but there's something that would also drawn you within the group to say, okay, I will handle this part of it. And what was that in the leadership role that you assumed at the Ramoji Film City and also at Dolphin, that matter? And what are the biggest challenges that you encountered during this period when you first took it up?
Hospitality appealed to me as it is one of the few industries where businesses meet emotion. You are not just providing a service, you are creating a relationship and memories. The initial challenge was integration, aligning operations, service quality, and customer expectations. My approach was to focus on consistency and long-term brand building rather than short-term gains.
So when you look at that, because Ramoji Film City is an ecosystem around. There's a beautiful ecosystem. I mean, one enters the gate itself, one feels that, okay, now we've been transported into a different world altogether, which usually people in India don't get to see. Of course, if you go abroad, there are many film cities. But being here and building it brick by brick by brick that you did, as a managing director of Ramoji Film City, you have overseen one of the world's most iconic destination, as I spoke about earlier. What makes it so special? And of course, there's a part of question that goes into it, which is basically you have integrated filmmaking, tourism, hospitality, and that's not a small feat of work. And of course, how did you align with these diverse verticals And there must have been some defining moments when this all happened.
Yes.
Can you just enumerate that?
What makes Ramoji Film City unique is its ability to seamlessly blend filmmaking with tourism. A pioneering film-induced tourism in India for the first time.
Okay.
It's not just a destination, it's an immersive world. The key was bringing multiple verticals like film production, tourism, events, hospitality, we are into wellness and entertainment, into one cohesive experience and catering to every divergent customer segments. A defining factor in increasing footfall has been continuous innovation, introducing thematic attractions, seasonal events like carnivals, and enhancing guest engagement at every touch point, besides providing the film fraternity quality services.
From Ramoji, we will now move to Dolphin.
Okay.
I remember the early days when I worked in Visakhapatnam long back in the 80s. There was this property called Dolphin, and people used to say, "Wow, this is a part of the Inadu group." And later on, of course, it all blended into the city of Visakhapatnam as it grew along. Today, it's a celebrated name under your leadership that has taken off.
Thank
but
you.
What is the, yes, welcome. What is the core strategy behind the success of Dolphin? Because you're operating not in a city like Hyderabad, but you're operating in a city like Visakhapatnam, where you need to set the standards as a pioneer, because they're not, I remember there were absolutely no hotels at that time.
Yeah, that
to
time.
speak of. So in terms of the property has consistently earned accolades that is truly it deserves it. But what differentiates it in the competitive hospitality industry? Because today Visakhapatnam has a lot of other big names that have come there. In fact, that is the question, the customer delight part of it, because in the hospitality industry, it's all about customer delight. Once they like you, they will come back no matter what.
That's true.
No matter what you charge them, but they need that kind of affinity that is there. So running this successful hotel chain, can you take us through what were your moments that you did it?
Sure. At present, at Dolphin Hotels, the strategy was simple yet powerful. Focus on quality, consistency, and customer trust.
Great.
Being the first star hotel 40 years ago in Visakhapatnam, differentiation came from blending premium service and adapting to the market needs. Customer delight and warm hospitality should coexist. Efficiency enables consistency, and consistency builds delight. As we are, being nominated, our restaurant in Dolphin Hotel called Cascade is rated number 2 in India for the food quality and the taste. Recently been awarded.
So I will just take you something which is off the record. How did you make that happen? How did you ensure that, coming number 2 all over India,
Yeah.
in Cascade, taking that?
It is pure customer, what the customer needs, and tailoring to the customer's taste and making it the best.
But one of the things that is there in any industry is the concept of innovation that is there, and customer experience, which you just spoke about. You're known for the thematic experience here in Ramoji Film City. And then, each time it should be that the person comes the next time, they should get to see something different.
Right.
They should not say, "Oh, I've seen this before.
Yes.
Okay, this is nothing different," kind of thing. But in today's experience-driven economy, if you can speak of that way, the world-class hospitality, what does it really mean to you? Because can you share examples of where the bold idea of innovation has paid off significantly in the field that you're operating in?
Innovation begins with understanding evolving customer experiences. Today's customer seeks unique experiences, not just services. For Ramoji Film City, innovation means introducing thematic concepts, whether it is attractions or curated hospitality experiences. A strong example is the development of our new cine-based experience attraction called Mayalo and seasonal thematic carnivals, which have significantly enhanced engagement and visitation from all over India, contributing to tourism sector of the state.
So that's because the numbers that you're drawing, even you see people coming in the thousands every day. I'm sure that is one of the recognition of the fact that the concept has clicked. That is a big way. But there's also something that you often talk about, which is leadership and planning. There's a huge amount of effort that goes into building a brand, and more importantly, to keep it going at that level of excellence. So when you talk of, you actually played a key role in strengthening the vision and the teams within the group that is there today. What's your approach in leadership and people management? And also, more importantly, how do you aspire or inspire the people to deliver these expectations consistently, delivering it each and every time? And of course, what qualities do you believe that a successful leader needs in today's corporate world, because you see the kind of competition that's coming about in every sector that is there. You need leaders who can really drive the vision. I mean, we can see that from the top, from the political level, from the prime minister's level, right down to the last person who takes decisions. What's it all about, man?
My leadership approach is rooted in empowerment and accountability. Strong teams are built when people feel ownership of outcomes. I believe in setting clear expectations, encouraging innovation, and recognizing performance. In today's world, a successful leader must be adaptable, empathetic, and future focused.
Now, when we talk of leaders, India's boardrooms don't see much of women directors, women entrepreneurs. Of course, the things are changing now a lot. And I'm sure Mr. Ramoji Rao has seen that potential in you to make sure that you can become a good leader and you can start handling these properties, which at one time was his baby. And as one of the prominent women leaders in India, in Bharat, what has your journey been in terms of traditionally what is called a male-dominated business environment? Usually it is that way. What advice, for example, would you give to women entrepreneurs who want to build a career, say, in the hospitality or tourism sector? Because quite often women are seen in the service industry a lot. In the leadership role, how do they really build brands? How do they create brands?
The journey has been both challenging and rewarding. While there have been moments that required resilience at the time of business and personal setback, tourism and hospitality were the most affected sectors during COVID.
True.
Strong will and tenacity was required to overcome these challenges. Ramoji Group successfully could handle the situation. I believe capability and consistency define success. To aspiring women entrepreneurs, I would like to say focus on building competence, stay persistent, learn to balance work and family, and don't hesitate to take leadership roles.
Apart from Sri Ramoji Rao, when you talk of women entrepreneurs, are there any women entrepreneurs whom you would say, you would look up and say, wow, this is my role model? You can take your time and tell me that.
I have really Sudha Murthy as a philanthropist. I like her simplicity, I like her humbleness, her down to earth, being very straightforward and very articulate.
In fact, she was one of the first lady employees in Tata Motors, and that Mr. Ratan Tata's famous stories regarding that. But let's come back to the fact that there are multi-board responsibilities that you take up. You serve on multiple boards and in the diversified Ramoji Group itself. But how do you balance such diverse responsibilities? I mean, how working across sectors has changed your perspective as a business leader?
Being associated with organizations of Ramoji Group companies has broadened my perspective. Each sector, media, entertainment, finance, tourism, and hospitality, offers unique insights, but the core principles of good governance, strategy, and customer focus remains constant in all the businesses that we do. Balancing these roles is possible due to strong teams that we have in our group and our family support.
That's more important.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they say, behind every successful man is a woman. But here is behind every successful woman, who's there?
The total family is there with
Support.
us. We are together and we are a strong family.
Wonderful, ma'am. In terms of the future and the vision, when you look at, you built a brand. I mean, Ramoji Rao Garu built a brand. You're kind of taking it to the next level. But when you're focusing on expanding the visibility and profitability of the group, that's very important, the profitability part of it. Internationally, that too. What are the key markets and opportunities that you see ahead in time? And how do you envision the future of tourism? Because the tourism industry has evolved, especially after taking a bad hit during COVID. And now with the war that is going on in
Yes.
Iran, that you see a whole lot of changes happening in key locations like Dubai, for example. Hospitality sector in India, for example, how do you envision for the next, say, decade's time? What kind of destinations like Ramoji Film City, what role can Ramoji Film City play in such a scenario in putting India on the global tourism map? Because today when you come to Hyderabad, it is not just the Salajang Museum, Charminar, Golconda Fort. There is also a destination called Ramoji Film City. So somebody comes, they say 5 days, one full day in Ramoji Film City.
Hyderabad means Ramoji Film City.
So that is again. So how do you envision this future that I talked about in terms of, one is the visibility and the profitability that is there, and second is of course the future and vision of the hospitality sector in India, and third and most important is how do you see destinations like Ramoji Film City playing its role for India in the global map?
The focus ahead is on expanding global visibility and strengthening our positioning as a world-class destination. India has immense potential in tourism, especially in experiential travel. Destinations like Ramoji Film City can play a key role in attracting an international audience. With growing content development sectors and focus on orange economy, we are aiming for international film and content developers. We are looking at new markets, strategic collaborations, and enhanced offerings to drive future growth of Ramoji Film City.
Well, when you really talk about, okay, we need to kind of look at some very short questions that I'm going to ask you. These are rapid fire. It will be mostly a line at the most that I'll ask you about, mostly about the personal insights. So let me take it up one by one. One leadership lesson that has stayed with you all through.
Consistency builds credibility.
What's a defining moment in your career? Because a lot of people have defining moments. They look back and say, wow, that was the moment. What was that?
Taking on large-scale integrated operations of Ramoji Film City.
That must have been a huge responsibility.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
easy at all. One thing that you still like to achieve, because there's a lot ahead actually.
Positioning our Ramoji Film City as a global tourism destination.
Well, that's mostly people ask this question, you have a work, you have a family, you have other things to do, but that is something that you unwind after work. What is that all about?
I like spending time with my children, Sohana and Sujay, and exploring new experiences through travel.
So you are in the industry and you like to travel the world.
Yeah.
That's great. Of course, there's one closing question that I have. If you define your journey in your life in just one sentence, what would that be?
It has been a journey of overcoming challenges, creating opportunities, and building enriched experiences.
Wonderful speaking to you. I'm sure that people who watch you, especially women, who watch you and understand from you what's happening on the industry, how do you handle multiple roles, how do you take over from a patriarch like Ramoji Rao Garu and build this brand and take it ahead. Vijayeswari Cherukuri, thank you very much, ma'am, for speaking to us at Hybiz, and it's been a wonderful experience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.